First 2 bans.
Well, we kind of knew what was coming.
It's expected from the video. Let's shut down Froggen.
Bit of research works. Orianna and Twisted Fate taken away. Froggen not too worried. Remember, Nyph still open. We heard him earlier on in the show saying, hey, it's free win if it's available. Kassadin, though, of course, taken away. This time by Alliance. Froggen managed to get hold of that. I don't think we're going to be seeing 80 stacks coming out of Alliance in this matchup. Who knows, though. Maokai banned away. That's a big, strong top laner that we know Xaxus puts a lot of emphasis on. We saw him playing it last week in their victory and said he believes it's the second strongest. Gragas still available, remember. Of course, a number of champions are out there. There's the Lucian ban, there's the Fizz ban. Will it be Gragas? Yeah. It will, absolutely. First pick once again, second game running.
All right, so again, 2 games in a row, we see Maokai being banned away, and then Gragas being locked in for the top lane, and you ban Maokai against. So it seems, because the teams haven't played enough against Maokai, maybe they don't feel confident enough facing it, or maybe they actually consider it to be stronger than the Gragas, seeing as they ban it.
Well, of course, Fnatic did the same thing with Soaz. Alliance picked Irelia for Wickd, his signature champion, who ended up coming out much stronger. Morgana and Kog'Maw, though, locked in. So Alliance putting a lot of money in that bottom lane pairing. You talked about Froggen being locked down. I think we're probably going to see him having the last pick of champions.
Yeah, and instantly response to the Gragas here. I'm not going to take any chances where Xaxus can knock Tabzz into the rest of Roccat and kill him instantly now. You have Black Shield, you have a hyper carry for the late game. A decent good lane as well with this Morgana as the support. Not the same as a Nami, you don't bring the same amount of poke or sustain, but now you have, of course, the binding and the Black Shield, which is the important one. Get out of the laning phase, Black Shield is so crucial here. And I'm still surprised. We see so many Maokai bans, and they give Gragas over to the other team. Still very surprising. Maokai must be like the #1 according to everyone here.
Well, it does seem that we're going to get Elise. So Jankos, it's a big champion for him. Elise, he's got a lot of first bloods, remember. I think he's still sitting at one of the most as a jungler.
Oh, 100%.
And Roccat, of course, themselves have got most first bloods, I believe, in the whole of the LCS.
They do, and Jankos, as a player, got the most of all players. And it's often on Elise. We see time and time again, early pressure. He loves to gank. He really puts so much focus on ganking lanes instead of like moving into the enemy jungle, trying to find the enemy jungler, or just sit back on like a farm jungler. No. It is ganks early on, level 2, level 3. I'm going in, man. I'm going to try and get a kill. If it works, he can snowball his lanes.
Well, Corki was also picked up. We did see Riven just being hovered over, but it seems that...
Just do it. You want to do it.
The thing is, Evelynn is available, and Evelynn is a strong one for him. There is Irelia. We expected that one from Wickd. Yeah. It's what he considers a strong laner against Gragas, and Riven is locked in, so we're going to see Shooks Riven in the jungle. 100% win rate on this so far.
And we really see for Alliance here how they value champions. So Lucian is gone, Elise is gone. Okay, who's next? Evelynn was open, and many junglers would consider her to be the next in line. Nope, we take Riven, we consider her stronger now than Evelynn, therefore we lock it in. Same goes for Irelia here for Wickd up in his top lane. Gragas is gone, he goes instant to Irelia every single time, so you have this list for him. Whatever is his third champion, I have no idea. Maybe Teemo, we will probably never see it, because Irelia is open again, locked in for him. He played it last week as well. In both the games, actually, Alliance played Irelia both games.
Ooh. Now, well, we saw Alistair last week. Didn't work out so well for Unlimited. Whether it's going to be the roaming speedy cow, will it be the Zyra in there? Zilean still being sat on. Kurt played it to great effect after Faker played it, of course. And let's not forget Zitai back in China was the man that started it all off for that Zilean in the mid lane.
Okay, good. I like the fact they lock in Nami here and actually move away from whatever Blitzcrank or they were looking at before, because I really like Nami against Morgana. As long as you dodge around the bindings, you will be able to control the lane because of your sustain. Very nice poke as well. And the fact you can break the Black Shield with your own W and then land the bubble afterwards. So good, very, very aggressive bottom lane in terms of trading from Roccat here against Alliance. And then, of course, the Zilean becoming more of a standard pick. He was also banned last week. It actually opens up for Roccat to mid-game make a lot of plays, but late game wise, they might be in trouble here because there's so much focus on mid game. You have Corki, Gragas, and Zilean, all of them power spike straight in the mid game.
So what's Froggen going to go with? Xerath, maybe an option. He's up against a Zilean. Zilean's going to be getting in his face, but he's going to select it anyway. That stun is going to be on point. So Alliance, final lock-in.
So I asked some of the mid laners here in Europe why you take Xerath over Ziggs, for instance. And it's simply because your laning phase is kind of the same, but Xerath late game, you can easily hit all your combos, or at least most of them. Maybe not your ulti is hard one, but the rest of the abilities are very fast, where the bouncing bomb from Ziggs can be hard to hit, the ulti people can run out of it. The main abilities from Xerath is like instant boom, damage, land a stun as well, and he just works so well in these late game team fights. And Alliance looking for the late game points, Roccat looking to finish in the mid game.
I want to see how it works out between these two teams. Roccat, of course, chasing out the positions really in the standings. They are only one game behind SK Gaming, so
true.
It's not beyond the realms of possibilities that they could be picking up a win. They have 4 games this Super Week. Of course, Alliance happy at the top of the table, just need to secure a couple more wins and they are safe. So which team do you believe has ended up with the better champion picks? Tweet us hashtag ROCWin for Roccat or hashtag AllWin for Alliance to @LOL Esports, and we'll see if the lineups have affected your vote. 75% of you for Alliance, of course, early on. No surprises, top of the table, and looking like they want to take this one late, as you say.
Yeah, and I do wonder if they want to lane swap early. Dodge around the very strong lanes here from Roccat, because every lane from Roccat is very, very good, especially also Gragas in the top lane. We've seen it time and time again. Irelia, of course, knows his Irelia, should be able to handle it, but still, we could see Alliance swap here, get some farm, get some levels, and then go back to standard lanes once they feel confident.
I want to see how Xaxus builds this Gragas as well as we get into the game. Remember, Soaz went tanky. Froggen, big words, said pretty much useless at the end of the game. We'll see how it works out for them. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of Super Week. The final week in the season here in 2014. Playoffs looming, quarterfinals. Roccat are in those quarterfinals. Last spring, I should say, they faced Alliance in those playoffs. Took them down in that 3rd, 4th place match. Alliance, though, they've come so much stronger in this summer split. Dominated the league, honestly, and stayed top for all 10 weeks so far. Can they hold it for the entire season?
So we do see Flask on Wickd again. Did it last week against Gragas. Simply because it's all about just farming, sustaining himself in the lane. With all the poke from Gragas. Already jumping to Xaxus here. The rest of Alliance joining in.
Blade Surge, though, coming out of Wickd. Level 1, dashing on towards him. Not sure he would have wanted that one as his first level 1 skill, but this is a heavy, heavy invade coming out of Alliance. Roccat will react to it. I think they're just going to go straight down and counter and steal away their own blue.
Yeah, so we actually saw Celaver instantly move up to Alliance blue buff, place a ward to check, okay, where they're actually starting. And now everyone recalling, so Alliance just wanted some deep wards to try and spot where Roccat is sending their lanes. Oh, Tabzz just got interrupted here. But still, this is purely Alliance placing all the deep wards to make sure they can see where Roccat is moving with their dual lane or with their top laner, and then try and dodge around it. So full focus on getting the lane swap.
Both Wickd and Tabzz moving back. It does seem that we are going to have a lane swap around. So 2v1s all around. We'll see how it works out for them. Celaver and VandeR make their way down towards the bottom part of the map. They're going to be up against Wickd. Meanwhile, no, I tell a lie. Alliance are coming back. They want more, but they've walked past a ward which has given Roccat the view of this one. They really want this blue buff. They're investing a lot in towards it, and it's going to be dangerous. They're in a 5-on-3 situation. They're actually coming around the back of them. Jankos so separated, he's caught out. Where's he going to be able to get away from this one? Xaxus now turns around, but the rest of Roccat move in. Oh, that's a prison. Flashed out just in time. OverPow tries to catch on towards this one. Froggen's putting the damage down in the back there. There's the exhaust going down from Nyph, and that will keep them away. A lot of summoner spells burned out from both sides. But it's Alliance that actually came out worse, I feel, there.
Okay, so because Alliance invaded onto the blue buff due to the fact that their dual lane up in the top side, it actually meant Roccat didn't go down with their dual lane to the bottom side and just said, fine, we do a lane swap. They came back up here, and now we do have standard lanes, even though it really looked like we had the lane swap beforehand. So a lot of aggression early here, a lot of flashes burned as well.
I wonder if that's like a reaction to, remember back to the Fnatic game last week where Shook on Riven was put so far behind early on by that invade that Fnatic took. I wonder if they realized we need to put some pressure on here. We need to cause some problems. Remember, Shook wasn't involved in any of that. He was taking the red buff. He carried on about his journey. You can see he's already on that blue. But Jankos on Elise, fast wave clearer in the jungle, and will keep up.
We also saw both top laners instantly just teleport down to this bottom side. I believe Wickd maybe arrived a few seconds before. Got a few minions, so we do actually see him push the wave in here because Xaxus arrived slightly later. But still, Back to standard lanes, even though we've just swapped them around, which means no dual lane for the Dragon. We could see one of the dual lanes up here, especially Rockets, because they have the pressure, push the lane in to Alliance Tower, recall, and go straight for Dragon later on.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Wickd did get there earlier. As effect of that. Oh, Wickd, wrong choice there.
No
Blade
flash,
surge.
no flash.
He's in trouble. Jankos comes around. He can just take his time with the cocoon here. He's going to send the spider. Doesn't need it. First blood. Once again goes to Jankos. Roccat protect their record.
So no flash on Wickd. He wanted to push the wave into the tower to make it reset and get it back to the middle of the lane. But Jankos was there instantly. And we talk about how he's not a guy to just sit back and farm. He will always go to the lanes. He will always look for the ganks. And it was a bit too easy to get a kill on Wickd here. And also forced him to buy a very early pink ward.
And it's a risky play because he had to know the timings of that jungle.
Oh,
he had to know that he'd started off at blue. They invested so much in that blue. They had to know that they were taking the blue, coming down to the red, and they knew that Jankos would be in that lower half of the jungle.
Honestly, just cocky play from Wickd here. Saying, you know, I don't care if he's showing up. I can escape. Nope. Not a single chance. Shook wasn't there to help him, so it wasn't a bait either. Just overextend his lane. OverPow, however, taking a lot of damage in his lane.
Good combo from Froggen there. Throws out the stun at the same time, catching on towards him. VandeR trying to turn some of the aggression back on Nyph, who was getting that poke on. Both, of course, with the Spellthief's Edge, so both looking to score themselves some gold every time they do land those hits on the champions. Meanwhile, they are keeping fairly trim in terms of CS. Celaver has got himself the advantage because Tabzz had to back off early. And now Jankos, once again, on the prowl, looking to score some points in his top lane.
It's going to be a hard gang to pull off, however, because Tabzz and Nyph was playing so defensive and staying so far back in the lane. But it's just Roccat taking control of this lane here. Got the kill on Wickd down his bottom lane as well, which is something Xaxus needs to use to capitalize and extend his own lead.
Oh, Nyph in trouble. Hasn't got that black shield this time around. Can he get caught out? Is it enough? Yes, it is. Celaver gets himself the kill and another assist for Jankos.
So while it was a hard gank, they managed to pull it off here. Jankos, he stayed around, moved in as soon as Alliance sent their dual lane a bit up in the lane. Instantly moved in, killed him. And Shook, he's just been farming meanwhile.
Well, let's not forget, while the top 2 spot is confirmed for Alliance, they are by no means safe in that top. Fnatic would love to chase him down on that one after that loss last week. Tabzz in a little bit precarious position here. Jankos comes around the side. Hasn't used that cocoon yet. Now it does. There it is. Jankos gets himself the second of the game.
Such a good setup again. Really just using the fact that Roccat is dominating the lane. Push it in. Tabzz stayed. Once again, no flash. They were both used at the blue buff invade by Alliance at level 1. Cost him 2 deaths now.
Good start for Roccat so far. We talked about how they need to get that early game going for them. They need to get ahead and get that lead down, and it's working out wonders for them. The question is, can they make use of it as this game progresses? Wickd back down in the bottom lane. He's going to be up against a very tanky Gragas soon. You can see that Rod of Ages already well underway with the Catalyst being picked up. He himself is looking, he went for boots early on actually, looking to probably go for Triforce early on. Again, we'll see whether he decides to variate from that, whether he needs to get that Negatron cloak in to his build early.
So it would be an issue for him at least if he delays the Trinity Force, because Irelia is all about getting early Trinity Force and then you have your mid-game power spike yourself. If you do delay it, we do actually tend to see Irelia's become a non-factor because you don't get your power spike and the rest of the members from the other team becomes tanky enough or get high enough levels to actually deal with you in these 1-on-1s or 2v2s in the fights. But let's see what Wickd decides to do. Normally it is Trinity Force and then full tank afterwards. Unless he wants to try and split push, which I wouldn't expect him to do.
Well, we haven't had a chance to look too much towards the mid lane. There is a bit of a CS differential building. You'd expect that to start evening itself out now. Their overpower start to get those bombs a little bit stronger. Froggen is, remember, holding the record in Europe for the fastest CS. That's a lie. Peke did steal it away from him, didn't it? But both of those records were against this man, OverPow.
He's one of the most passive laners. And if you do look at the numbers, he's actually, I believe only Nick is above him in terms of how much CS the enemy mid laner gets at 10 minutes, at 20 minutes. Nick is number 1, or we could say number 8, the worst mid laner in that case. OverPow just above him. Which means, as Froggen talked about, you can pick pretty much whatever into OverPow and do well in the laning phase. And right here, he's actually dominating the lane early on against the Zilean, who's so strong in the laning phase normally.
As it is, he's being very cautious, doesn't want to get shook going, of course, who we haven't seen a great deal of coming out of the jungle. He needs to start getting the levels before he starts looking for those ganks, but once he gets going, we've seen him already in the 3 games that he's played him so far this split. He really gets going. 40 CS for him. Meanwhile, he's going towards the Spirit of the Other Lizard. Yes, no, actually...
It is.
Yeah, it will be, it will be.
Will be. So what we have seen from Shook is simply saying, I don't feel like there's a lane I can actually gank at the moment and pick up a kill. Xaxus is very hard to gank in his bottom lane and up in his top lane because the ganks come in from Jankos, the kills came in here. It simply meant there wasn't an opportunity for Shook to go up there. Wickd flashing away.
Yeah, flash caught out. Explosive cast will knock him back. Should be able to blade surge to freedom. No! Jankos comes in. Tower hits come on towards him. Shook now getting involved, but it's another kill for Jankos. He's now 3-0-1.
Simply again, every time he shows up in a lane, someone from Alliance dies, and he's looking so good on Elise. Tabzz here.
Celaver in trouble. Exhaust goes down. Nyph wants that. Will proc off, should be enough. He needs 1 hit. He's trying to give it to his AD carry. The teleport comes in. Xaxus is coming around the backside. Nyph catches on towards him. Nyph's in trouble. VandeR's chasing him out. Belly slap from Xaxus. He catches on. Wickd joins in. Wickd will not get anything from this as VandeR flashes away. And the teleport wasted. And Alliance, they're now trailing 5-1.
At least though, they managed to get a kill. Just did the 2v2. Then Xaxus joined in after, and Wickd kind of came in too late, couldn't really do anything, and just had to trade a kill. But it does mean we get to swap the lanes, and now we have the 2 top laners in the top side where they belong. We're back to standard lanes, and no dragon was actually taken.
Oh, we didn't see that one. OverPow Cortower had to use his own ultimate to save his life there. Froggen pumping down that right of the arcane ultimate on towards him. We did see, meanwhile, down that bottom lane, Shook, he was trying to shove that wave in towards the tower, reset it for the carry. Alliance, though, moving. Dragon is their focus.
So Wickd instantly moved away from the top side, just straight down to the dragon, because he knew the rest of the team would join in, and OverPow already used the ulti. He's so low. Easy dragon for Alliance, so should be. The members from Roccat are still staying here, but there's only 3 of them.
Well, Jankos fancy a smite steal, try and get in there. Good stun on towards Celaver, will get caught out. Wickd locks him up. No ultimate for Froggen, he can't pursue this one. So, top tower, that's in trouble, remember. Teleport was used by Wickd to get back up here, and this may well be Xaxus getting himself a simple trade in objectives.
So trading tower for the dragon, and of course Roccat weren't really in a position to fight because OverPow was so low in the mid lane. So actually, this was pretty much the best they could get out of the situation, seeing as it wasn't already lost dragon. Also, the entire wave got actually killed here by the tower down to this bottom lane. Again, a lot of trading back and forth.
Good combo there. Aqua Prison into Big Bomb from Celaver. Firing out, caught out. Didn't quite get the Valkyrie off like he planned there, and instead gets traded with a big chunk of damage back his way. So, those phosphorus bombs starting to get some burst on. Of course, both of these AD carries they're going to be working towards. Oh, OverPow in trouble. Hasn't got that ultimate quite available. Now he's just come back off cooldown. Oh, the timing on that one. Froggen, no, the stun not landed. The wave comes through. Now Shook gets bounced back up there. Aqua Prison catches on him. They can turn this one back around. Shook's going to try and jump away. The bomb on his head. Celaver chases on. Is it enough? Celaver gets the kill. And now Froggen in trouble. Jankos forces him away. And Roccat continue to hold the lead over Alliance.
So OverPow, he was just buying time, waiting for the dual lane to come from the bottom side up to help him here. Beautiful setup by VandeR. Tidal wave into bubble, and then Shook went down here. Need to be careful. Tabzz is looking to fight.
Tabzz going aggressive, forcing his way in. Wickd also doing the same right at the arcane. Stunned out target, that's an easy one for him. Wickd needed that kill. It was a shutdown bonus as well.
A lot of action here. All the lanes just roaming around looking for kills. Still though, if you do look at this bottom side, Tabzz can now push it in. Or Celaver.
Well, Celaver gets away, just slightly dodging out. Froggen trying to bait this one out again. Lands the stun and the Arcano balls. Everything dumped onto OverPow. He is not having a fun time against Froggen.
And notice the build here from OverPow. Straight into cooldown reduction boots. Bought a home guard. He knows he's getting out-traded in this lane here. He's going to have to go back a lot of times to base to heal back up. And therefore he needs the home guard now to rejoin or get back in the lane. Still a very early cooldown reduction. We could see him focus more like support style. We saw Kerr played where he went straight into death cap, like first item, and just said, I'm gonna look to kill people in the mid game. It seems OverPow is going the more supportive role.
Meanwhile, Froggen gets himself a blue flask. He wants kills. He wants power right now. He's going to move back in. Athene's now completed. Looking to see whether he can finish off OverPow, who himself will be taking away that blue buff and moving back in towards his mid lane. Shook, meanwhile, he's been fairly passive in this game. The one time he does try and gank, he got a little unlucky there with OverPow's Chrono Shift ultimate coming back up just at the right time on the cooldown to keep him alive. Wickd been fighting out against Xaxus, who has been a little bit more successful in those fights, but it's all about Jankos. He's been the man that's been making the plays for Roccat, but can he keep it up now as we move into the 15-minute mark?
At least for the next dragon fight here, Roccat, because they have the mid-game comp, should look to take the dragon. They are ahead in gold. Jankos is very strong. If he lands the cocoon on someone, he can burst them down himself. We just got Trinity Force completed for Celaver. He's hit his first mid-game power spike now, which simply means Roccat, for the next dragon fight, they have to take it. They have to secure it. If they give it over to Alliance and let them go late game, Roccat might end up just losing the game.
Ward spotted out. It was actually the pink ward, by the way, in the death bush that spotted Wickd. He didn't notice it. Dark Binding lands on Celaver. They're going to try and trade this one back. Tabzz is putting the damage down, but as we mentioned, Celaver now with that completed Trinity Force will be stronger in a straight up 1-for-1. Shook spots out by that ward, which just times out as he passes on by.
We constantly see Xaxus and Gragas here moving towards the mid lane. One set a play up, he pushes up the top lane, or pushes in towards Wickd and just moves away. Still, Roccat needs to get into this river and actually clear some of all these wards Alliance have put down, especially the pink wards are very important to get rid of, because they want to have control of this dragon area and make sure to win the fight.
Dark Binding not going to land. Tabzz quick black shield will prevent most of the damage. Nyph not caught out by that Agro Prison, and people will step back. Jankos spotted out. Look at the deep ward that Alliance had there around that red buff. They knew exactly that Jankos was down there, which is why we're seeing Shook just lingering off at the white. He's now coming into the tri-bush, ready and waiting if needed. Jankos is actually going to sneak himself in towards these bushes. No ward spotting him so far. Now he gets seen. Now they realize he's going to try and force out this turret.
Yeah, he didn't even care. He just wanted to make sure Roccat could take down the tower, at least get some damage onto it, and just wait for Dragon as well. Nyph still staying very close. He was actually looking to see if he can get in range for his ulti because Shook was waiting in the bush. However, wasn't close enough. And now Roccat staying, keeping Jankos down his bottom lane. Push it in again. Go back and recall. Good timing here. 40 seconds for the Dragon. You want to make sure you recall beforehand and get back for when the Dragon actually spawns.
Yeah, patient play, and that may be something that Tabzz needs to do. He hasn't got that Trinity Force, as we mentioned. Trinity Force is now completed, though, for Wickd. Rod of Ages, of course, was picked up by Xaxus. Now also got the Sheen. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. I think that's going to be the gauntlets for Xaxus, as it is. Wickd will shove this wave out. Both, of course, with teleport. Both able to interrupt one another if it was needed. Although when you start doing that at the start, look at that. Aggression from Wickd straight onto Xaxus. Xaxus taking a hell of a lot of damage there. He has to back away, forced to go back and buy. Dragon now live, but they don't have the timing on it perfectly. And Roccat are actually the ones who are in position.
They're moving in now. They clear the pink wards, place their own wards. Could force a teleport out of Xaxus because he lost the trade on his top side. Let's see if Wickd wants to join in here. Froggen is still in the mid lane, clearing the minions, so he's far away.
That Dragon is going, and he's already taken down. And now Alliance have to back out quickly here. They're going to try and turn this one around. Force Flash comes out of Nyph and Shook, and they do quickly evacuate. So Roccat get the Dragon.
But this is simply Alliance saying we are behind. We're against the mid-game comp, and we don't feel like we're in a proper position to actually fight. So we're just going to stay back. Shook went in, tried to steal it. Nobody else engaged. Froggen stayed in the mid lane to farm. Wickd stayed in the top lane. There was no teleport. So smart decision by Alliance, and something we often see in Europe where the teams make the mistake and feel like, yeah, we're just gonna fight. Don't care even if we are behind or have a weaker comp at this point. They still go for the fight. They'll lose it, and they're losing the game here. Alliance though, playing it smart. And I believe Xaxus here actually wants to go towards Lichbane as a second item. So just looking to slime into people and smack them in the head. Makes him very squishy, however.
So, second turret of the game taken by Roccat. Alliance still yet to get their own. They are pushing on towards the top, which is going to force Xaxus to go and defend against Wickd, who will spot out that ping ward actually in the bush that Xaxus had laid down there. So that's now cleared out. Xaxus should be able to clear this wave out, keep that tower fairly safe. So, bottom lane pairings. Tabzz now with that Trinity Force completed. Picked up the boots as well. Celaver yet to go back and buy, actually, since having that Triforce for a while. So now with 1,700 gold, he's heading off. And looks like, though, Alliance, they're grouping in numbers. 4 members hovering around this mid lane. Maybe going to try and create a play on this tower.
So pretty hard to just push it down when you have the double bombs from OverPow to instant clear the waves. We did actually see Celaver pick up a BF sword with all the gold. We'll be building into Infinity Edge. It's a very expensive first 2 items, but once you complete them, you are so strong. And again, awesome thing about Corki, you don't necessarily need... Oh, Froggen flashed it.
Good flash.
But the thing about Corki is you don't necessarily need a Last Whisper, especially not in the mid game, so you can focus on getting these expensive damage items and just be very strong at the mid game points.
Important flash, and again, that was Xaxus paying yet another visit to that middle lane. It's bought time for Wickd, though, to chunk down this tower. He may well try and finish it off here and then turn aggression onto Xaxus, but look at Roccat. They're reacting. They knew this was possible, and OverPow already making his way up there. Speeds himself up. Xaxus hasn't got that ultimate available, but with OverPow there, he's going to run straight towards him. Chrono Shift on towards him. He's not going to get away. The Ignite's there. No way out of it.
Yeah, didn't want to flash because the bomb was on his head already. And again, OverPow's build here is actually going the same as Faker did when he played it in OGN, where you want to get your tier, well, normally you want to get your tier early so you get it stacking, but get his tier, upgrade it into Celaver Embrace late game as well, get a Fiends, and you have a lot of cooldown reduction, a lot of mana regen, and you just spam away all your abilities, your bombs, your Ws, so your ulti has less cooldown as well. And it's basically all about long extended team fights because you have so much mana, you have so much cooldown reduction. If late game, perfect team fight for Zilean, you get 2 ultis off because you just spam your W so often, and there's such a long cooldown, or such a low cooldown due to it.
Well, Roccat grouping up, and Alliance are not really in position to react here. Roccat could easily shove down this mid turret, and they seem to be taking advantage of that one. Celaver is nearby. We do see OverPow shoving the waves in, so they should be able to get some free damage on this turret before Alliance respond. Now we see Froggen finally getting in there. Dark Binding lands on Jankos, but no follow-up, and that turret will go down. Roccat now 3-1 in turrets.
So again, it's the mid-game we talk about for Roccat. It is so strong, and they need to take advantage of it, and they are. Getting the dragon, got a tower here. Still farm-wise, they have not really managed to break ahead of Alliance. So now it's going to be all about objective gold. Next dragon needs to go over to Roccat as well. And they need to keep putting pressure on these towers. They need to move in the jungle of Alliance, play some deep wards now to kill all the outer turrets. And then just look to catch Alliance out of position. Look for the fights here. Only issue is OverPow.
Uh-oh, Nyph in trouble. No flash available. This time, though, he's going to go straight defensive, try and throw that Dark Binding in the face of OverPow. Didn't quite get in position in time. Nyph and Shook trying to roam around here, trying to create some play. Shook now got himself that brutalizer, so that damage will be amplified somewhat here. He's going to sweep out and clear that ward that just got shoved down. OverPow playing a risky game. He knows he can speed himself up, and he's of course got that second life available with the Chrono Shift should he require it. Roccat gonna try and react here. Alliance, I think they were trying to move for Dragon, but they were a minute early.
At least to move in and just get a ward or try and force Roccat into bad position. I'm not too sure what the movement were. They've not been grouping as a team yet, Alliance, and just gone straight down to try and push a tower because they know there's a lot of wave clear on the side of Roccat, and they know if they get into a team fight, Roccat should be stronger. So what they've been doing is just sit back in your lanes, just farm. Don't look for any fights. Get a tower if you can, great, otherwise just sit and farm. We see it again, taps down his bottom lane, Froggen sits in the mid lane and Wickd up in his top lane. And just wait for Roccat to make a move. If they don't, fine, we just buy time and get into late game.
Well, Tabzz is having himself some free farm down the bottom. He's having a great time with that one. 30 seconds until this dragon comes up. Tabzz is going to be important to push that wave in, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out of position. That's why you can see he's been a very cautious little Kog'Maw. Doesn't want to get pushed too far. Wickd has to deal with this wave that Xaxus just shoved in. Xaxus is already making his way down river, and looks like we're going to see Wickd trying to do the same thing. OverPow's going to wipe out this wave. 13 seconds on the dragon. This time it looks like Alliance want to fight, but Roccat are ready. Yeah,
and they have some very good wards here to spot everything. Nyph taking a lot of damage.
Took a lot of damage, but everything missed out from Roccat there. And Jankos, half his hit points shredded off. That's not what you want in time for the dragon fight on your jungler.
Let's see here, the rest of Alliance coming in. Once again, there's a lot of good wards here from Roccat to spot Alliance moving into the river. It's all about now landing. Some poke from Xaxus, poke from Celaver. Ooh, they're going for a straight line.
Oh, good wave comes out. Can Roccat penalise it? Well, he will. Absolutely. Nyph gets caught down and just dropped straight away. Good ultimate, big ultimate used though by VandeR, and that may well cause some problems. Alliance still in a 4-on-5, happy to hold on.
They can push the mid though. They can push the mid lane here. They're waiting for the minions to get down towards the tower and just stalling Roccat around the dragon. Now sending in Tabzz. OverPow, however, he actually recalled and is speeding up towards this mid lane because Roccat were on the wrong side of the river. So they're going to go for the top side instead of bot side, actually.
Yeah, Celaver reacting straight across. Celaver's actually singled out here. Jankos now, flash from Shook, comes on towards him. Good repel, and now Shook in trouble. They're going to turn this one back around right at the arcade, not landing on the right targets. The final one did come in. Tabzz will move back towards that mid lane. The rest of the team back and forth. Roccat look like they're going to be wanting to back away from this one. Wickd chasing down on Xaxus. Will be able to dash on towards him. Jankos has teleported away. Alliance move towards the dragon.
And Alliance, they managed to buy enough time now for Nyph to return from the base, from his grave, joining in with the rest of the team. Shook, however, no flash, down to 50% HP. He needs to be very careful. And now it's Roccat stalling it out here, forcing Alliance away. And both teams is constantly pushing 2 lanes and making sure nobody takes the dragon.
Risky plays from both sides. Jankos now back, full health. Roccat once again in position here. Wickd actually pretty low now. Jankos sweeping out and clearing out all the vision coverage that Alliance had gained. And honestly, I feel Roccat have now got themselves in a good position to take this dragon. It looks like it's going to be safe.
So because they managed to stop Alliance from taking the dragon just a few seconds ago, Jankos returned. Now they can take it. Shook was forced back to base. So pays off from Roccat. They managed to defend the mid tower. Very good move where OverPow recalled, ran from the base, and got up there to clear the wave to make sure Alliance couldn't just trade mid tower for the dragon. So, good move by Roccat. And
Alliance fancy this one. Wickid's around the side, actually. He's going to come around the back. He's just off your screen. Now comes around. 4v1 in, catching his ultimate across them. That's going to be the chrono shift used on Jankos. He pops back up. Straight away stunned up, though, by Froggen. They will get themselves 1 kill, but it looks like Roccat should be able to escape freely here. The question is, can Alliance take any objectives off it? The bottom tower is available. Wickd is already heading towards that one, and I think they want to try and push the mid as well.
Shouldn't be able to push the mid, however. A lot of members from Roccat here to defend it, but down this bottom side, Xaxus needs to run down very, very fast, or use a teleport if you want to stop Wickd.
They're going to push in OverPow. It's very low, pinged off there. Going to clear the wave out, though. Right at the arcane. Is he going to land? Oh, flashed it! Just dodged it out there. And that was...
But that's mid tower.
Going to be the mid tower. The bottom tower is saved. Xaxus got down there just in time, but the mid tower's the vital one. We'll clear away a lot of that vision. Wickd is going to back off.
Yeah, so Roccat actually decided to give the mid tower instead of the bot tower here by sending Xaxus down, the full HP Gragas. Could have done a lot to try and clear the wave, but still felt like at least defend 1 tower and we're 100% sure it's going to survive because it's only Wickd taking it, and just give up this mid tower here. So Alliance at least managed to get a tower, get some objective gold. Still very important. They're not too far behind. If you consider the fact, again, they want to go late game.
Well, consider they're 8-3 behind in kills. A couple of dragons worse off, and Roccat, no, can they push on? They need to start putting some pressure on the map here, and at the moment they are starting slowly to play a little bit more defensively than they were. As you mentioned, this is their time to shine. This is where they have to start putting the pressure on. At the moment, they're simply keeping those waves from crashing against their towers.
And we even saw OverPow decided to delay his Athenes just to get the death cap, because he knew I need this mid-game power spike and I need to be so strong in these team fights, so he just went back, bought the death cap. Still needs to stack his tier a lot before he can upgrade it, because he bought it so late. And we need to see these team fights here. You even see more AP now on Xaxus. Roccat, they need to start forcing something.
Second item, Guardian Angel's picked up by Wickd, so he knows that fights are absolutely coming, and he's going to be the one in the thick of it, fighting them off. Froggen, meanwhile, got that death cap as well, as you say. And now, well, ping ward's starting to begin around the Baron. Maybe Roccat going to try and make use of their little spike they have here to see if they can try and gain advantage and snowball it ahead of Alliance, though. Don't look to be wanted to make this happen. Wickd gets the 3rd turret of the game, and they're all squaring turrets now.
So pretty early to bait the Baron against all the members from Alliance. You're going to take a lot of damage if you actually started. It's a lot of poke from someone like Froggen if you're stuck in this Baron pit here. So Roccat, seems to me like they really don't know what they want to do. So they just do like the standard easy one. Okay, go to Baron, place a pink ward, and just wait and see if Alliance want to move in and face check us. But Alliance just staying behind the wall, warding it, making sure Roccat doesn't actually start it. Now they need to be careful though. A lot of members recalling from Alliance here.
Interesting.
If they do want to take Baron, now was the time.
With the second item, Lichbane for Xaxus. Not that common. Meanwhile, of course, looks like Zhonya's Hourglass is going to be maybe following in a death cap. He's going full magic damage, that's for sure, on that Gragas. So
we have seen Lichbane as the first item a few times, but that's where you want to focus on like dominating your laning phase and your one-on-one. He got the Rod of Ages first to get some teamfight stats, and now he got the Lichbane simply because he knew he was going to stay with Wickd in these one-on-ones for a long time. So it makes a lot of sense for him. Still means if he joins in for a teamfight and he goes a bit too aggressive, it's easy for Alliance to punish him and just blow him up because he's so squishy. Could definitely be an Hourglass coming in as his next item.
We see a couple of counters as well from Alliance. You just saw the Hex Drinker being picked up by both Wickd and Shook, actually. Oh, Nyph almost caught out there. Quick scrying orb being used by Celaver. Still yet to be picked up by Alliance, actually. They haven't gone that route. Instead, and the vision again. Cleaned out by Roccat. They're moving in and around this Baron. They really want to try and bait this one out.
They don't have enough deep wards, however.
Yeah.
Yes, they have 2 just behind the Baron, but it's not enough. They need to get further in the jungle of Alliance, move in as a unit, and just force Alliance out of the jungle. Place your wards so you can see where everyone is moving. You can also use it then to go away from the Baron and move to the top lane, to the mid lane, if you see they are out of position to fast push a tower. But now, they are just starting it. I'm not sure that was the plan. Just VandeR auto attack at once, and now everyone has to back away.
Good damage on Shook, though. Nonetheless, he's taking some poke. Got to be careful he doesn't get caught with that cocoon. He will step out. But the thing is, Alliance have got no pressure on them. All of the mid lanes are pretty much holding even. So they don't need to worry about getting caught out. Wickd, he's like, do I phase check it? That's exactly how you check it. Tabzz use that ultimate, gives him full vision if it lands on them.
The Baron is like so confused, like what's going on? People are standing right around him, nobody's doing anything. And now he gets spit on again. Piss annoying.
Just annoying for him. Nyph getting the poke down, lands the Dark Binding onto Celaver. Will step away. OverPow caught out. Wickd catching on towards him. Has to use the Chrono Shift on himself and left. They're going to leave that to time out. That is that ultimate down for a certain period of time. It's a fairly quick cooldown.
Will just spam his W, but now forced to go back to base because they actually left him alive on low HP. A bit like ARAM. You don't want to finish him.
Don't want to finish him off.
Just wait for it to run out and then you kill him.
Become the ARAM master since you started playing with us.
Yeah, but we lose a lot of games. And then we start arguing with each other and everyone else in the office looks weird at us and we're like, ah.
Look, the thing is, teamwork makes the dream work and we just don't work it out ourselves. As it is, Dragon was started off and backed away from mid lane now is going to be the focus. Roccat once again trying to bait out this Baron. OverPow this time, no ultimate available. Actually, tell lights back off cooldown. Wickd nearly caught him out. There's the wave coming through. It's going to be Froggen and Tabzz actually at the back there. Can they catch on towards Froggen? Yes, they can. They just explode him. And now Elref's from Alliance. They're running scared. They have to get caught out. Shook in trouble. He gets taken down. Not quite enough, and he survives again. Don't know how he manages to make these escapes all the time. But Roccat, they got the pick they wanted. That mid lane is down. It's only a 30-second death timer, though, because we're only in the 31st minute. There's a risky Baron play still.
Still, though, Shook was forced back to base here. Only Nyph, Wickd, and Tabzz to try and defend. Tabzz is still very low on mana here. Let's see if they can actually do anything.
Thing is, Wickd with that GA, he can put a lot of pressure down. OverPow's going to get the focus. There's Nyph goes in, tries to get that ultimate off. It's going to proc. There's the Baron taken away. Roccat, oh, Shook! Shook failed his jump. He didn't get over the barrier, and that may well cost the life of some of his comrades. It is going to be Nyph that goes down. OverPow managing to use his ultimate to keep him alive. Wickd got out, didn't have to use that GA cooldown, and now Roccat with the Baron. Let's see if they can take some of those towers.
Finally, the Baron dance worked for Roccat here. Been there for quite some time, at least 5-6 minutes, but Alliance moved in. Good tidal wave coming in from VandeR and Frog. Oh, let's see if there's a fight here actually. VandeR, Jankos moving in. It's TP as well in the mid lane.
Time to run away from this one. VandeR, though, taking some serious abuse. Xaxus is going to join them. That Dragon is not going to get taken by Alliance. And again, they have to step off. Tabzz with next to no mana. He's going to have to go back. Looks like that Dragon will be taken away. And Roccat now with a sizable gold lead. 8,000 built up. They're making use of this mid lane combo.
And now they just have to get in the base of Alliance. With this Baron buff, they're so strong at this point. Infinity Edge completed for Celaver. It's been for a while, but still. Go back now. Shop, you have a lot of gold. And then you use this Baron buff here. 10 more minutes, and Alliance are more than even with Roccat in terms of like late game scaling. Of course, the gold is going to be a big difference still, which means it should be in favor of Roccat unless they really mess up the next 10 minutes.
Well, we'll see how it works out as it stands. Alliance are trailing. Roccat, while being pressured very well in the team fights, have been holding their own. OverPow now with his Baron on will wipe out this wave, no problem. And you can see all the lanes actually starting to slowly push in favor of Roccat. The question is, will they make a move on one of those inner turrets? Blue buff will get cleared out for OverPow. Absolutely required for him to keep those bombs ticking on members of Alliance.
Pretty good. Let's see, Frozen Heart as well for Jankos. Simply to try and shut down both Wickd and Tabzz. They're actually very good item against both Irelia here and the Kog'Maw. Let's see, Roccat pushing up on the tower. The rest of the members are not here, only OverPow and Xaxus actually pushing in. Celaver is still in this mid lane, and Wickd is there to defend. Wickd might actually look to jump him if he gets the chance.
Well, they're looking to maybe try and go for Tabzz. Tabzz forced away from this tower. The rest of Alliance are reacting. Tower taking a beating from the minions, not too much damage down on it though, as you mentioned. Roccat rotating well around this jungle, keeping Alliance guessing as to where they're going. Absolutely do not want to get caught out in open play. And that dragon, turret, sorry, is going to go down. First one of the game, the inner turret goes to Roccat.
There's two more left here. There's a wave up on this top side. Everyone, however, from Roccat is moving down towards this bottom side for the next tower. And Alliance can send all 5 members down to try to defend it, but they need to react in time. They are actually sending now 4 members at least. No Tabzz, however. He won't be able to join in if Roccat wants to go for tower dive.
OverPow clearing a double wave, pushing up. The rest of Roccat rotating, moving towards it, trying to shove in. Alliance are in position with 3 members. Should be enough to wave clear it. Of course, Froggen's Pulse can wipe the waves out from quite a distance. It should keep them at bay. Of course, Tabzz as well has pretty long range on that Kog'Maw, which is why they're now starting to feel a little bit more confident. Roccat, of course, have still got 30 seconds remaining on this Baron timer. Don't think they're going to get too many more objectives with it, though.
Well, they keep the pressure going. VandeR was actually back in base. Now board. But does have the mobility boost, so joining in again. Jankos taking a binding. Got out of tower range.
Not going to follow though. Yeah, got out of tower range just in time. Top wave is now being chased. Alliance nowhere near this one. OverPow and Xaxus have snuck around. They haven't got a wave of minions just yet. Xaxus will join them. He'll probably tank out the first line of this one. Look at this. Alliance way too slow to respond, and that's going to be another inner turret being picked up by Roccat.
Very nice move here. They kept 2 members in the mid lane, waiting to see where Alliance was sending the remaining members. They went down to the bottom side looking for a fight, and instantly Roccat said, okay, you guys move away, we go top, and now they're actually gone back in. Jankos once again, the guy tanking the tower.
Yeah, 2 members trying to tank this one through. The rest of Alliance move around. OverPower's not backed away. He's still sticking around in that mid lane. Remember, they were known for their 1-3-1 push. That's what got them into the LCS back in 2013 against Ninjas in Pajamas. Of course, a long time ago, that one. But at the moment, they are starting to give Alliance a bit of a merry run around.
This is looking pretty good for Roccat. Used the mid game they had, waited around the Baron, managed to get the pick here. This should be running out soon, the Baron buff, and now we kinda... Everyone recalling, everyone going back. Resetting the whole game a little bit. So, pressure's on Alliance. Roccat has been playing the map now. Didn't manage to get into the base, however, so no inhibitor down. And they might just be waiting for the next Baron. Try and do the exact same thing they did before. Bait it out, hope Alliance moves in, look for the fight, then take the Baron, and then go towards the base.
Well, VandeR's going to find Shook in a moment if he keeps on pushing through this jungle. He's trying to get some vision coverage in there. Nyph himself has barely got any wards out because they've all been swept out. A lot of pink wards from Roccat covering this map, making sure they have full coverage of that Baron. Notice they had one in the pit and one just outside it in case there was one snuck against that edge. It so often can be unseen, but Roccat have full vision. So waves are going to be pushed up, it seems, for Roccat, shoved in the top. You can see it's already pushing its way in. 4 members in that mid lane, while OverPow split pushes down on this bottom. Hasn't got teleport, so he has to rejoin his team. It should be Xaxus that's down there doing that one. But with a minute for Baron, Roccat are very much getting ready to start this one off again. And
if you just look at the game, it was all about Jankos in the start, getting the kills, every single gank he made. Kill either for him or whoever he was actually ganking for. Got the lead for Roccat here. They lost the first dragon because Alliance, very smart here, moved down while OverPow was too low to actually contest it. When the next dragon, Roccat got it. Next one again, they were in good position, took the dragon, got a few kills on Alliance as well, and just been controlling now both Baron and Dragon, and also pressuring down the towers for the last, we could say, 20 minutes. With this mid-game comp still working really well for them to get the pressure, get the goal lead, and force Alliance to react. And let's see here, Baron up in 20 seconds. Last time, remember, Alliance danced around for like 6 minutes, then they moved in, and Roccat instantly punished them, got a kill onto Froggen and got the Baron.
Well, Froggen himself was playing cautious, hasn't got any vision down that bottom area. Dragon now just spawned, and look at Alliance, they're moving in on force, but they could be losing out the Baron of this one.
Baron,
Baron is about to spawn up. Roccat are there ready and waiting. I think they're going to try and run the timer on this one. They may well get it before Alliance.
Oh, they will.
Not even close to getting it. Dragons get picked up. That's the Baron for Roccat.
It's simply Alliance saying, we don't want to deal with this Baron dance once again. We don't want to take the chance, so you get the Baron. We at least take the Dragon, because they had a rough time off the Baron from before, so it's not like they were surprised it just spawned. Could even see it on the minimap respawn. So simply Alliance saying, we don't want to deal with this Baron dance, we don't want to get caught out of position again. We get Dragon, you get Baron, everyone is happy. Or maybe not.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Still 11,000 gold advantage for Roccat. Not what we were expecting, honestly, when we saw this on the standings as Game 2. Alliance, of course, charging up that table. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of overconfidence for Alliance, but this game starting off well for a Roccat. It's what?
Remember Wickd's first death?
I remember. I'm well aware of it. And I also remember talking to Alliance last week after party, celebrating, where they basically were feeling very, very confident. I mean, they know they've secured that top 2 spot. Pressure is off them. They don't need to go full on in this one. Seedings absolutely are massive, though, especially for Roccat, who, if they win this game, will be tied on wins with SK Gaming, who, of course, will be playing later on today.
It's simply all about who do you actually want to face. And I talk with Roccat, you talk with Alliance, I talk with Roccat here, we mix it up. And they actually want to face Millennium in the playoffs, because they feel like you can prepare really well against Millennium. They are predictable in the case. They love to play this one pick comp style, and if you have a whole week to prepare a tactic, the picks for it, they feel like they would be in a good position. So if they manage to pick up some wins here, they could potentially decide it themselves if they do get Millennium in the quarterfinals.
Roccat now with this Baron still pushing in for the final inner turret. Wave was cleared quickly by OverPow, which means there's minions now crashing on there. Irelia is going to deal with that one. This will be Wickd across there. Tabzz went there, but it's another tower. Roccat have claimed this one. Yeah,
once again, going in, just tanking the tower, kill it. We'll step closer here. Every single auto turret is now gone. This top lane, however, is pushing, so Roccat needs to send someone up there to push it back if they want to apply pressure in all the lanes. Second Baron buff, and still no moves for the base yet. They want to get a kill on the Alliance first, then they're going to move towards the inhibitors.
And that is the tricky part. We've seen Xeraths in the past easily holding these waves back. Once they start moving to the base, it's very hard to push in, especially with the wave clear the Alliance do have. It's good poke, though, for Roccat. We'll see now whether then this maneuvering that they've been doing so well, honestly, Roccat, they've been pushing Alliance around this map very well, keeping them guessing, strangling out that vision. But now that they're in the base, they have full vision. They know exactly where everything is happening, and they won't be able to do it. They need to actually, as you mentioned, take a pick, start a fight.
They don't want to keep just sitting back and farming, because it buys even more time for Alliance. I mean, notice Tabzz here. Infinity Edge, Trinity Force, Blade of the Ruined King. He's very, very strong. Froggen as well. Once he completes his hourglass, it's going to be hard to deal with him in these team fights. So, while Roccat are still ahead, have a very big goal lead, they need to start making some moves.
I also feel that maybe Tabzz is going to require that Guardian Angel soon, because if he gets caught out, it certainly will go down very fast. We saw already how Froggen dropped like a stone. But again, now Roccat starting to group. This is the split push. This is the pressure. You can see down the bottom is OverPow. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, 4 members of Roccat try to push in there. Dark Binding catching on Celaver, but not followed up. Pink Ward goes out. Wickd looks like he's going to be the separate defender, but Roccat already happy, as you mentioned, to tank out that damage. Jankos taking some of the hits.
Yeah, simply because they have
pressure down.
When there's so much wave clear from Froggen here, and even Tabzz can join in and just single down these minions here, you have to just walk straight up to the tower like brute force it. Step in, take some damage from it, but at least deal some damage to the tower and just keep doing it and make sure you never drop too low. Because if you do get too low, Alliance can engage onto you. But it's the way for Roccat to play it. Always get some damage, and then at some point they will take it down.
We're not seeing it off the side there. Half that turret hit straight away. Xaxus with that Lich Bane. We already saw Wickd was taken very low. Coming back now with the Home Guards. He's going to try and catch on towards Xaxus. Xaxus has to use that Zhonya's Hourglass. There's going to be the wave coming through. Not doing a great deal. Roccat simply forced back. They're going to keep on pushing here. Celaver almost got that turret down. They get it. Now Xaxus going to get caught out. Jankos taken low. That's going to be the Chrono Shift views from OverPow on him. They're happy to back away. Force coming in. One more hit. Oh, he catches on OverPow. Now they're going to chase. You can see Wickd still trying to pursue on this one. There's not really any objectives though for Alliance. They've lost the inhibitor turret. That was the main objective Roccat wanted. They're happy to take a death for that.
Definitely worth it for Roccat here just to get an opening in the base of Alliance. They can now go back, wait for OverPow to respawn, and then move up towards this inhibitor here. Try and force it, kill it, and then move on to the other lane. So they got an opening now. Still scary stuff for Alliance. Looking stronger here now, pushing down mid lane.
They're rushing this one. They know, of course, they've got another 30 seconds plus on OverPow's death, so they know it's a 4v5 situation. They're going to get straight towards this tower. They're going to push it down hard. Remember, of course, with a Riven in there, Irelia, and of course the AD carry of Kog'maw. They're going to shred these turrets fast. 20-second death timer still on OverPow. They're still pushing through. Baron Beth timer has now worn off. Have they got enough to try and siege their way through this one? I don't think so. They're going to have to retreat in towards the jungle and try and get some vision away from Roccat.
And Dragon up in 10 seconds, so Alliance could take the mid tower, move towards the Dragon, get even more gold here. So again, you can argue, was it worth it for Roccat? You give up Dragon, you give up a tower, but still they got an opening in the base, which is what they needed because they couldn't push before. We saw it.
Oh, Dragon's going to go down. Alliance took that one. They had the timer on this one. They're also going to be well aware that in a minute's time, Baron is up. So everyone from Alliance steps away, gets themselves more gold, spends it out, and gets some of those almost vital items on there. Blue buff will go across to OverPow. Vision very much in control of Roccat still. They have good coverage, but Alliance I don't think are going to be quite so passive this time around. Pink ward from Nyph there will not spot out that ward he's just stood over. And he's going to get a singular ward in the back of the pit. 30-second timer. This time, as you mentioned, late game team comp from Alliance. Is it enough though, being 12,000 gold behind it?
Yeah, still an issue because Roccat has so many items here. On the side, I mean, OverPow fully maxed out. Froggen still slightly behind.
OverPow's down the bottom. The Baron's up in 10 seconds time.
You have TP on a Gragas. Why wouldn't you send him down bottom lane? Okay, OverPow just put the bomb. It's instant clear to push it up towards the inhibitor and then moves in to join the team. Baron now spawned as a ward from Alliance, so they know. And everyone's staying in here, looking for the fights. Still a lot of damage on the side of Roccat if they do manage to catch someone like Froggen or Tabzz.
Well, Alliance are going to move in, start clearing the wards. One pink ward spotted. A lot of pink wards in there from Roccat, so they've got a while to clear those out. They just snuck one in there. Jankos going to get Cocoon on towards Wickd. Wickd, of course, with that Guardian Angel, is taking the forefront. He dives in, gets himself some damage. That's pulled out the wave. Good ultimate going down from VandeR, not landing on the targets. And now Roccat trying to single them out. They're trying to put pressure on towards them with the minion wave in there. Got to get caught out. Xaxus with the dark binding on him. Will get a bit of Arcane Opals. Jankos just off of the side there. Good stun. Celaver
such a good
caught
stun
out there. Good stun. That's in Sonya's Hourglass. And Tabzz in trouble now. Uses the explosive cast, but he gets picked off. OverPow having to use that Chrono Shift.
Welcome to the late game.
The Alliance catches on towards him. Celaver going to have to run away from this one as OverPow is dropped. Celaver being chased down. Wickd going to catch on towards him. Valkyrie not going to be enough to get away. And he gets dropped as well. That's a 3-for-0 for Alliance. The Baron's available and they can just go straight for it.
And now as Alliance moved into the Baron here, cleared some wards. Roccat was standing in the middle lane.
They're going for the game
here. What are they going to do? Yeah, they're going down towards the Nexus here. Do they have time? 40 seconds on Xaxus. Wickd.
Teleport available for Wickd. He's going to join in a moment. Shook's going to tank out some of the damage from this turret. Of course, they're down to 2 members defending. They should wipe out this wave easily. There goes Wickd teleporting in. The wave is actually not going to land in time, and he will tank out this one. Full hit points on. Alliance still very low on hit points, but an inhibitor will go down. Can they keep on pushing? Nexus turrets are available for them. Wickd wants to tank this one through. Needed the minions. Minions now coming in. They're going to join on towards this one. A lot of damage coming out from Tabzz. One Nexus turret goes down. Still 10 seconds seconds on the death time is here. Alliance turned this game on its head. They're still almost 10,000 gold behind, but that doesn't matter. The Nexus is falling, and Alliance prove why they're #1 in the European LCS. Take a great victory over Roccat.
And Roccat simply, they had the lead for pretty much the entire game, but they didn't use it. They never got into the base of Alliance. For once where they killed the tower, ended up trading the mid tower and the dragon for it. And then Alliance simply said, now we're in the late game, now we feel confident, now we are stronger, and started walking as a group, looked for Roccat, looked for the fight, won it, and GG, game over.
And I wonder, I mean, I hope that they show that on the analyst desk that last fight, because Roccat were in disarray. They were separated. Celaver was up at the top. Jankos was over the side. They were all getting picked off singles. Xaxus went in. The rest of the team backed down. Nobody really knew what was happening in Alliance. They knew exactly what they were doing just towards the end there. They held on. It's something we saw from old CLG EU. They knew how to defend these fights. And again, they pick up another win.
Yeah. Simply managed to just extend the game because Roccat were so passive or didn't find an opening. There was constant wave they come in from Froggen. And then this late game teamfight, when you have an Elise who's building half tank, half damage, when you have a Gragas building full AP, you don't have a tank. Wickd was the guy who went in first for Alliance. Shook followed up here. You have two tanky members now in the late game points. Simply meant there was nobody from Roccat who could deal or who could actually tank up the damage. And then as soon as they got locked down, Alliance just cleaned them up, got all the kills they needed, and we saw the difference between the late game and mid game.
Oh, crazy, crazy stuff. Nearly a 40